Now behold, later on that day, Jesus showed himself to two of them in a different form as they were walking in the countryside, on their way out to Emmaus, a village about 60 stadia from Jerusalem. And together they were going over all the things that had come to pass. And even as they were discussing these issues, Jesus drew near and traveled alongside them. Now their eyes were being held so as not to recognize him, and he asked them, "What are these things that you are saying to one another as you walk all dejectedly along?" And one of them, whose name was Cleophas, answered him, "Are you but a stranger in Jerusalem, unaware of the things that have happened there over the past few days?" "What things?" asked Jesus. "With regard to Jesus of Nazareth," they answered him, "this man, this prophet, who was mighty in deed and word before God and all the people, how our chief priests and rulers handed him up to the judgment of death and crucified him. But we were counting on him for the redemption of Israel, and it has been 3 days now since these things have happened." Now there were these women who went early to his tomb, but were unable to locate his remains. They came and surprised us with news of an angelic vision that they had experienced, and they all claimed that he was alive. Now some of those who were with us went over to the tomb and found things even as the women had described it to them, but they did not see him. "You fools," he chided them, "and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets had foretold. Ought not the Messiah to have suffered and entered into his glory?" And from all of the prophets, beginning with Moses, he expounded the scriptures with reference to himself. And as they drew near to the village for which they had set out, Jesus acted as if he were traveling further. "Stay with us," they said to him, "for evening is approaching, and the day has nearly passed." And he turned aside to stay with them. And as they were reclining together, he took the loaf, blessed it, broke it, and divided it among them. Then their eyes were opened up, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. "Did our hearts not burn within us as he spoke with us along the road and clarified the scriptures to us?" they marveled to each other.